Hi everybody. So I just wanted to provide you with a little stress relief technique today through something that we always have with us. We don't need any special equipment in particular. We just need to use our breath. So most of us spend day in and day out, and you would think like, well, I don't need to work on my breath because I'm always breathing. Maybe you're always breathing just enough to survive, but you're not maybe really breathing. So, you know the old adage like, before you respond, take a deep breath or take several deep breaths. Well, there's a reason for that, because when you take a deep breath and you get some oxygen into the body and you release that deep breath, the body begins to relax, the central nervous system starts to calm down. And if it's the case that you need to respond to something, then, you're more apt to respond in a calm way, in a way that really reflects sort of not anger and frustration as much as what you really want to get across. And it becomes much more effective because you seem less frenetic. And in the end, the more you practice really, really breathing, the more you have control over yourself, over how you respond rather than react to things. And it really starts to overall lower your level of stress. So I wanted to bring that to you today. It's something that I start each of my yoga classes with, and so I'm just going to walk you through it. So first things first, I want to invite you to find a comfortable seat. And I don't mean like in a chair or, just on the floor. I have this Thai mat here. It's always in my living room. We have a very small space, so I have to use what I have. And it's folded several times. If you have a yoga bolster at home, that would be great. I don't have one. If you have maybe like a really dense blanket, fold it several times. Whatever it is, you can take a cushion off the couch maybe. Whatever it is, the reason I want you to sit up on something is so that you can release a little bit in the hips, and you can keep your spine really straight while you're breathing. And so many of us spend so much time sitting hunched over or without the right kind of support that we can't even really sit up straight if we're on the floor. So find a comfortable seat supported on something that's fairly dense, that will hold you, that's even, and that you can be comfortable on. You can sit cross-legged, or you can put your feet, you can't see my feet here, but they're like soles together into a wide diamond, if that's comfortable for you. And if this is too much on your hips or on your knees, you can take a block or a phone book, if we still have those, or something like that, and just tip them inward so that, like this, so that they're on the angle to help support your knees. The idea here is not like getting into deep stretch as we're starting out. The idea is making the body feel supported and comfortable. So now that you have your support, and you have blocks if you need them for your knees, just shift forward as if you're like almost gonna fall over, like hinging at the hips, and see how the sits bones come right off the mat a little bit or off your support, and then roll back, like almost sort of rolling that tailbone under, and see how the sits bones are kind of forward. And now find a neutral spot in between those two extremes, and then maybe shift a little side to side, and find sort of where you are squarely seated so that you feel both of your sits bones equally planted into your support, and you can feel your spine straight, vertical, coming up from your support. Placing the hands on the knees, starting with them palm down to bring a sense of groundedness. Start to feel the spine lengthen just a little bit, getting really straight, lengthening all the way from the tailbone up the back and up even through the back of the neck, which is part of the spine. The way to keep the spine long through the back of the neck, instead of doing this, which compresses the spine, is just putting a little tuck in your chin. As if you have like one of those small little apples and you're holding it under your chin. Okay. Does it feel hard to stay here? There's a lot of muscles that work just to get you to stay here. Roll the shoulders forward and then let them come down the back. And see how that opens across the chest. And one more time, roll them forward and let them float down the back. And notice if you feel broader in the chest, across the pectorals, if the shoulders feel like they're just back a little bit more than usual. Maybe those elbows ended close to the body now that the shoulders are back. And closing your eyes, you don't need to see me. I'll walk you through this. Closing your eyes, just start to notice what your natural breath feels like right now. Does it feel rushed and shallow, or does it feel deep? Just what does it feel like? Without adjusting it and without making any judgments. And now, taking a deep inhale through the nose, once again, rolling those shoulders forward and squeezing them up towards the ears, exhaling completely through the nose and allowing the shoulders to float down the back. One more time, inhaling the shoulders forward and up to the ears, exhaling through the nose completely and allowing them to come down the back. Sitting with the spine straight, on each inhale that you take, can you maybe feel yourself grow a little taller in the spine, maybe like a 0.5 millimeter? And with each exhale, can you encourage any areas of sensation in the body to relax a little bit? Maybe it's the hip, maybe it's the shoulders. Just breathing here. You always have that ability to take the shoulders forward and up to the ears and exhale them down the back. Now placing the hands on the belly, notice if on your next inhale, your inhale can allow the belly to expand. And the exhale through the nostrils allows the belly to contract. I know that in our society, we don't want the belly expanding, but that's really a natural function of the muscles that we use to breathe. And when the belly expands on the inhale, that means we're taking a big breath in, which is what we want. And now take your hands to the side of your rib cage. And on your next inhale, can you feel the belly expand and then the sides of the rib cage expand before the exhale contracts all that air out? Notice if you're able to feel this. And then on your next inhale, can you feel the belly expand, the ribs come out away from the midsection of the body, and maybe even feel the breath in the chest area before the exhale squeezes them all out. Inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling those 3 parts of the body expand with the breath that comes in, and exhaling completely, allowing all of that breath to release from the body, making space for new breath. Following your own pace, breathing in deeply, exhaling deeply. This is called a 3-part yogic breath, Dirga Pranayama. It is a practice. When you feel stress, when you feel fatigue, when you feel like you need to take a moment, find a comfortable seat. Lengthen with each inhale that expands the body. Encourage areas of tension to let go with the exhale that releases toxins and negativity and anything that doesn't benefit you from the body. Following your own pace, noticing after a while if the inhales and the exhales can become the same length. Lengthening on the inhale, letting go on the exhale. Allowing yourself to return to your natural breath. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze down. Notice now what the quality of that natural breath is. Notice now how you feel sitting here. And if the answer is that you feel a little calmer, a little more in control, a little clearer, just a little better, just know that you carry this breath within you all the time. You can always find some place to hide for 2 minutes, drop into this breath. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. So I hope that helped you out a little bit. I hope that gave you a new tool in your toolbox. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.